Hey, it's Karri Flatla here for this week's Friday Fire at RE/MAX Real Estate Lethbridge and Karri Flatla and Associates. We are still in a hot seller's market. It is mid-February 2022, and I have to say it's like the spring rush has come early. So this is what I would have expected for mid to late March, but the buyers are out in full force. So if you are thinking of selling your home, there are no shortcuts, even in a hot seller's market, even in an unprecedented hot seller's market. And I'm going to explain why. But the simplest way I can break it down is to say, if you could spend $1,000 on something and get $5,000 back, would you do it? If you could pay someone to clean and declutter your house for $1,000 and you knew it would save you $5,000 when you go to sell because you would not have to reduce the price by $5,000 after 2 weeks on the market with no offers, would you do it? So this is what we're seeing. There's two big shortcuts that I see homeowners taking when they're listing their house right now, and it's happening in all price points because I've been out showing dozens of houses over the last couple of weeks. Doesn't matter if it's a $250 or a $450 or a $550. Number one, the house is not in showing condition, and this just takes an extra week or an extra weekend of elbow grease. Clean the house from top to bottom and pack up all your stuff. If you do nothing else, even if you don't stage it, clean the house from top to bottom, pack up all your stuff. I am showing houses, quite frankly, that are disappointing to my clients because what it looked like in the photos is not what it looks like when we walk in, and it makes a buyer step back because they feel the house is not being taken care of. And so it's not good enough to say everything is selling right now, so it doesn't really matter, just get the house on the market. The average days on market in the city of Lethbridge is still hovering somewhere around 60 to 65 days. The homeowners that get offers quickly in the first week do much better financially on the sale of their home. That's your best buyer, and you might get multiple offers. If your house doesn't show well and buyers are holding back making an offer, you're going to find yourself in price reduction territory. So one price reduction is $5,000 or $10,000 potentially, and you could have just spent an extra few days and a little bit of money getting the house super clean, maybe even hiring a cleaning person, get someone to help you declutter and pack, and that could save you a price reduction, right? In a hot seller's market, it's so tempting to think everything's selling, just stick a sign in the ground and off you go. That is not how buyers think. They're urgent and they know there's not a lot of inventory, but that doesn't mean they're going to buy something they don't like, okay? The second problem is the way the listing is presented online, because that is actually your first showing before the buyer walks through the door. So what I'm seeing, in addition to homes that are not being presented properly in person, they're not being presented properly on the realtor.ca listing. There's hardly any photos. Interior photos are missing. There is no 3D floor plan. There is no floor plan posted. And there's a lack of general information about the features and benefits of the house and the neighborhood. Put yourself in the shoes of a buyer who's flying down this weekend from the Greater Toronto area to pick and make an offer on a home for their family. And they say to their realtor, show me the 5 best listings in my price point. Very hard to judge what to look at when there's not enough information on the listing to begin with. Again, don't rely on the fact that there's limited inventory, because here's the other thing that will happen. If you don't present the listing properly online, maybe the buyer will forgive that and say, well, let's take a look anyway. Or maybe the realtor will forgive that and say, let's take a chance because there's so little to see and go look anyway. And then we get to the house and it's nothing like what we expected based on the listing or the little hints that you gave us on the listing. A surprised mind, a confused mind doesn't buy. It's an old adage in sales, but a confused mind cannot make a decision. That buyer will not make an offer on the house. Certainly not that day. Because they're left kind of scratching their head thinking, this isn't really what I expected. The house doesn't really look ready to go. I'm a little bit concerned about what the inspection will turn up. They don't seem that serious about selling. It just doesn't leave people with a good feeling, and all purchases are emotional. Okay, so you want to create clarity and you want to create positive feelings in the buyer. So those are the two biggest shortcuts I'm seeing homeowners take in this hot sellers market, and I'm telling you, it is costing them thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, because you'd rather get an offer from an excited buyer while the listing is fresh. And that doesn't happen when the house doesn't show well online or offline. If you have any questions about being more strategic and planning ahead for a successful sale with your home in Lethbridge, you can call or text 3827335 or look me up at karriflatla.com. Please remember to like or subscribe to my channel here on Facebook and YouTube. And in the meantime, have an awesome weekend. The wind has finally died down in Lethbridge. Such a relief, and it's beautiful and sunny. So do enjoy it, and we'll see you for next Friday Fire. Take care.